I want to talk to you guys about parts of a parabola. So this is information is going to be on the test that's on Thursday. So if you look over here at my work, so if you can zoom into this first part. Okay, so if you look here at the picture on my graph, I'm just asking you some basic questions about this parabola. We know that the parabola is from a quadratic function. So if we look, the first question asks, what's the vertex? Well, remember the vertex is either the maximum or the minimum. It's the part where it kind of turns around. So this right here is the vertex. It's a coordinate, and you would say that it is -1, 0. The axis of symmetry is always going to be the x part of the vertex, or it's going to be this line right here. And you always have to say it's x equals whatever. For the axis of symmetry, it's always x, and it's going to be x equals -1. For the maximum or minimum, you're just asking, is there a maximum or is there a minimum? Well, these lines keep going down, 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 so there's no minimum, and there is a maximum, which is going to be the vertex. So there is a maximum. The y-intercept is where this parabola is going through the y-axis. So the y-intercept is right here, which is 0. Sometimes people write the y-axis as the y-intercept as a coordinate, but you do not have to. Remember that the words solutions, roots, zeros, x-intercepts, those are all of the same thing. So if I ask you for the roots, or I ask you for the solutions, the roots, or the zeros, that always is the same thing. And they are the x-intercepts, but usually people do not refer to it as x-intercepts. They use the other three. So what are the roots or zeros or solutions? If you look here, it's where it's going through the x. So your answer is -2 and 0. I'm not too picky on the order, so if you put 0, -2, that would be fine as well. Okay, domain and range. Domain and range is always one of the ones that kids struggle with. Usually, especially if there's arrows on the end, for a parabola, the domain is always all real numbers. Because what you're saying is on the x, like if I had to narrow in and stop somewhere, even though you're tempted to say that you would stop right there, and so you're going to say that this picture is maybe between -4 and 1, you have to remember that these arrows keep going, so it's actually never ending, so it keeps going like this. So it's all real numbers, because on the x, it just keeps going everywhere. For the range is y. If you had to shut your fingers this way and box it in, well, you can't box it in this way because the arrows keep telling you they go, but you can box it in up here. So for the range is always y. Y is less than or equal to 1, because here's your 1 on the y-axis, and this picture is beneath it. So it's less than and it touches the 1, equal to 1. Okay, so you see if you can answer the questions for this parabola. Zoom in on this picture. Okay, and I'm just going to fill them out really quickly because they shouldn't take too much time for you to do. But you go ahead and pause the video and see if you can answer those questions based on this one. Okay, now you should have it completed. I'm going to go ahead and answer it. The vertex is 2, 1. The axis of symmetry is x equals 2. There is a minimum because there's a bottom. The y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The solutions are zeros. It doesn't go through the x, so there is no solutions or zeros. The domain, all real numbers. And the range it is above the 1. So y is greater than or equal to 1. All right, that is the video for basic parts of a parabola. Make sure you know all of that for the test on Thursday. Bye-bye.